thing to learn from this album, going from the cinema stages to bringing in John Anderson, to you create songs, and that doesn't mean that's the way they are. I mean, you can find earlier versions of these songs, and they're nothing like what this ended up as. And so just because you create something, that's not the way it is. And
I kind of liken it. Yeah, I kind of liken it to a movie where you start off with a script, right? And that's kind of the bones, the skeleton of but then it gets filled out by the director and the actors and the cinematographer and the art director and the set designers
and stages and stages and stages
and
and stages and months and months and months and
rewrites and let's take this scene 25 times and change the way you say this, and I'll change the camera angle, or
and on albums like this, because this happened, well then you go this direction, like you were saying earlier, the kind of like the Brian Eno effects, like, oh, this sounded good.
Where
here.
Are we now?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
And
let's hang with this one.
And you had Rabin's lyrics, and you had Squire doing lyrics, and you had Trevor Horn doing lyrics, and then you have Anderson coming in and doing lyrics, and things just progress.
Who knows?
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's such a beautiful mixture of all of these guys in such an amazing way. So, I'm glad we've done this album. Again, it's not my favorite Yes album, but it's probably my second or third favorite Yes album.
Well, it's very influential, or very dynamic.
Yes, it is.
The change is like here's everything's going this way, and all of a sudden now it's going a totally different direction in the whole
and that was the part
music world.
Yeah, that was the Trevor Horn and the digital revolution of recording and digital music production, I guess. Really this was one of those key albums that was a pivot point for the whole music industry, where, yes, there had been some samplers and kind of stuff before this, and then late 70s synthesizers and that kind of stuff. But at this point, Trevor Horn really was like, okay, let's change the whole, let's twist music production. So now it becomes a kaleidoscope instead of a telescope or whatever.
But there is that, and yet when you listen to what Trevor, and we're going to get to some Trevor Horn productions down the road on other bands and other things, but Chris Squire and Alan White and Trevor Rabin and John Anderson's, their involvement at this was taking what they knew how to do so well and putting it with that, and it makes this just like a huge piece of art and piece of science and everything.
I don't think this album would have been so influential and seminal to the digital music revolution if it hadn't been, the inputs into that digital recording were each incredibly phenomenal musicians, and then bringing it all together and making it into a completely new sound was really Horn's kind of contribution, I think. So,
well, let's finish it out, shall we?
Yeah. Yep. So great album so far, but this is just a beautiful song. One of my favorites.
And here is again where I'd say the combination of John and Trevor really makes this work.
Trevor Horn or Trevor Rabin?
You got John.
I think Chris is playing the harmonies on the.
Set your heart still on the
This is Trevor Rabin.
Look around
John
as you
That's what I say, the combination of them I think is pretty
pouring
cool.
souls into the ocean. Take account of
And then the
all
harmony
you've
with
seen.
Chris on the
One
bass.
people together.
This is the only track credited to the whole group
Today,
writing.
so easy.
Oh, you're right.
The future, so see the
One people
children's
together.
way.
So easy for the future, see the children's way.
Love me, teach me.
So it must be Trevor Rabin playing the flute samples, and then Chris is playing the harmonies on the bass. Just
One
flutes and bass together, harmonizing. And of course all the voices.
For today, tomorrow, forever. So see
little change key.
This almost harkens back to
where we're
older
going.
Yes.
It does.
Part right here.
The key changes.
Many moons cascade one
I love the
river.
low.
They light from side to side as we cross in close proximity. Like rivers, our hearts entwine. How we talk, how we teach our children. How they move, we direct our
And then Chris and Alan on the flow, the rhythm, funky rhythm.
As another when our hearts decide. Be ready now, be ye circle. Be the central force ye life. As the game extends the cycle. Be ready to move. One heart's full of one's forgiving. Two hearts are better than one. I hearing it, I living it, I believing it. Two hearts are better than one.
Such John lyrics. Two hearts are better than one.
Hearing, talking,
Such a John part two right here. Just the,
yes, I
and it's such a crisp bass line. I'm just a huge Chris Squire bass fan. I mean, his singing and bass playing. I mean, and then the way he plays with Alan White. I don't know, man. Just a fat groove here. This is Trevor Rabin lead here. Yeah, I like the keyboard melody there.
One heart's full of one's forgiving. Two hearts are better than one. I hearing it, I living it, I believing it, I loving it. Two hearts are better than one.
That's right, yeah. That's gotta be Trevor Rabin right there. But he's also on the guitar. So who's playing the organ? Oh, it must be Tony K playing the organ. Tony K, totally. This is the coolest part of the song, I think, right here.
Is it doing hearing you? You see the answers question time. Now if you leave me, let our hearts entwine. Let our hearts entwine.
cosmos floating.
As we
Reaching.
This is very
Message
this is
of
very
love.
classic. Yes, right here. This is very
On like
classic,
Awaken
yes,
or whatever.
I see
Yes.
the stars glow up.
I see the star glow one by one. All angels of the magic constellation.
They could have done this for about a minute
The
longer.
magic constellation.
Yeah. He's singing us
Be
now.
singing us
But this whole, they could have done this. They could have played this for a while longer, as far as I was concerned. They just, there it is. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they could have done that for another 45 seconds or so, and I think it would have
Yeah.
been perfect.
Kind of little that angelic tag. Well, I mean, it's just like Awaken,
Yeah.
right? Their masterpiece from Going for the One. Their 20-minute, magnum opus from Going for the One. I go back into YouTube and watch them do that live every year or so, and it's just every time I went. And we're gonna listen to Going for the One, the album. At some point, and one of the main reasons was because of Awaken, and it's a Yes fans favorite and everything. But yes, it's because part of it is just because it's just so, like that little tag right there at the end. It's kind of starts off that way and ends that way. The kind of these universal truths,
Right.
that bring us all back and take us away. And for the moment, we can hang together and jam and have a great time. And when we're done, we'll kind of return back to the cosmic, well of souls or whatever, heaven. Such a great combination of classic old Yes, new sounds produced in new ways, old sounds produced in new ways. Mixed up in a way that has never been done before.
Right. Very, very
so
experimental,
beautiful.
but yet pop is like, it's like a
Works.
combination of an experimental album and yet a pop album. All
Right.
it was all meant to be sold. It was meant to get to people.
It was
It wasn't meant to
Right,
throw off
and
people. It was meant to get to people, and yet at
No.
the same time, it was highly
And it-
experimental too.
right.
Right.
And so it did. It reached a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is the best-selling Yes album.
Best-selling Yes
right, of
single.
all
The
their-
best. Most people
Yeah.
know Yes because of this.
From Owner of a Lonely
Yeah.
Heart and this album. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Well done. Amazing album. So I'm glad that we listened to this one. But there's so many other great Yes things as well. So we're kind of just getting started.
The Yes Project Mountain, as you say.
Yes, the Yes Project. There is a mound of albums that we can listen to and dip into for sure.
So we
will.
We dig from this into Ultravox Quartet, Keith.
Yeah, fat,
Jamming,
yep.
rocking, dancing.
New romance and new waving pop rock, synth rock. Yeah, that's what it is.
I can't help but to love this band. This is a huge
They were
band
very,
for me.
very influential. Yeah, especially I think in our own music.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna have a great time listening to that one next week. So come back and join us again. Anyway, he is Del.
I am Del, and he is Keith.
And we are Renjeaux. We listen to cool albums, and we will see you the next time. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Be good. Be safe.